Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm happy you are here. I know that your time is valuable, and I'm grateful you have chosen to spend some of it here with me today. I shared in my exclusive leadership community a couple weeks back that I was bringing human design and gene keys into my coaching practice, which I'm super excited because I know and have experienced firsthand the impacts that it can have on us. On the podcast this week, I wanted to share with you how studying human design and the gene keys has changed my leadership and my mindset and my energy around my leadership. Now, human design and the gene keys go very deep and they take time to study. So I'm just going to touch on a couple aspects that have really impacted me. There is so much more to it, and in future episodes, I'll share more about that. If you don't know what human design or the gene keys are, I encourage you to join my exclusive leadership community on Facebook. There's a link down in the show notes, and check out the video I shared a couple weeks back. In short, human design is a beautiful yet vulnerable journey of self-discovery. It takes you deep within your soul and shows you your shadows and gifts. We all have them, and knowing what they are will give you clarity on what makes you tick. It's the blueprint of your mind, body, soul, and purpose. It shows you your unique design that is perfect for you to do the work you were meant to do in this world. I believe human design is the roadmap of your unique leadership journey. It will guide you along the way, show you how to determine the exits to take, when to make pit stops, and when to push ahead full throttle. It allows you to be your own authority, and only you know what is truly best for you. So let's dive in, and I'll share with you some of what I've learned and how it's impacted my leadership and my life. Keep in mind, while some of the information I share may be true for others that have some of the same aspects in their design as I do, we are all uniquely designed, so no two profiles are exactly the same. This is what I've learned about my specific design and how it shows up in my life. For you, it will be different and unique to you. So the first area that I want to share with you is what they call your career type or your type in human design. Now, there are 5 different career types in human design. Mine is what they call a projector in human design or an advisor in the business version in the BG5. Now, this is only 20% of the population, so we are unique because the majority of the world, about 70% to be exact, they're called builders. Now, advisors, they are meant to guide others and ask them the right questions. They are built for providing guidance, not doing labor. They are here to help others. They'll see things that others don't and can't see. They like to bounce their ideas and thoughts off of others, and they like to study and take in information. Advisors also need to be aware of their energy, as their energy resources are limited and need energetically healthy people around them because they will feed off of that type of energy. Now, learning my career type and what it means to me has been so eye-opening. It helped me in seeing why I've struggled with my energy And while I was able to get a lot done and keep up with others, but at the end of the day, I would crash and would use my weekends to be alone to rest, recover, and rejuvenate for the week ahead. When I would take on too much work or work long hours, I got easily burnt out because that is not what I am designed to do. It made me feel like I was broken or there was something wrong with me. So, understanding that this is how I am designed took a huge weight off of my shoulders. And I no longer feel guilty for resting or wanting to be by myself or taking time to think. I've always excelled at organizing and leading teams, whether it was at work or in my personal life. I could see the big picture when many others couldn't. It always felt very natural for me to guide and advise others, yet I would get very frustrated when people were not receptive to what I had to share. I've since learned, and in looking back, I recognize that they didn't invite me to share, which is why they were not open to hearing what I had to say. As an advisor, I need to be invited to share. So I've started getting more quiet in conversations and waiting for someone to call on me. In doing so, my thoughts are taken more seriously and I feel more natural in what it is that I'm sharing. I'm most comfortable in roles that require insight and thought. And when I'm in a role where I'm constantly told what to do and don't get to exercise my insights, I'm not happy. I get easily frustrated and my energy gets drained really quickly. I can see that throughout different teams that I've led and different leaders that I worked for. And in exploring other roles, I've always wanted to know the level of autonomy that I would have. And were there opportunities for creativity and brainstorming? At the time, I didn't realize what it was that I was looking for, but now I know that that was the advisor in me guiding me towards what was best in a role and in a team that I'm leading. One-on-ones have always been the most favorite part of my job. I love being able to help others grow and develop, which is key for advisors. They are especially skilled at the one-to-one conversation and being able to go deep with another individual. This is where balance comes in, though, and understanding your energy flow, because too many one-to-one conversations can lead to an overbooked calendar with no time to rest, which is going to create an environment of tiredness and burnout. So I have to find the balance, and part of what I do is spread my one-on-ones out across 3 days. So that way I can tap into that positive energy to keep me motivated and energized throughout the day and out the week and doing something it is that I really enjoy. The second aspect of human design that I want to talk about today is the decision-making strategy. Now, this is how I'm best meant to make decisions, both personally and professionally. For me, my decision-making strategy is recognition and invitation, then waiting for clarity. Or in human design, it's called solar plexus or emotional authority. This basically means that I need to let my emotional wave pass, whether it's high or low emotions, get clarity on the decision that I'm about to make, and then wait for recognition and or the invitation before proceeding forward. And boy, oh boy, have I seen this play out in my life. 50% of the people on the planet are designed to wait out their emotional wave before they make a decision. So I'm definitely not alone on this one. Not waiting for the emotional wave to pass is how I ended up buying cars I really didn't want, applying for or getting information on roles that I knew weren't the right fit for me. Um, but I decided to move forward with it anyway, and seeing where I've shared things with others that wasn't well received. The key for me is being patient and waiting out that emotional wave. The more time, the better. And it's not easy, and it really takes dedication and practice to do that. As I wait, I'll gain the clarity I need to make the decision. Although it will never be 100% certainty because that is extremely rare for anyone, I just need to be 80% sure or as clear as possible and then make the decision. Now, I've always been confident in my decisions because I do my research, but learning about that emotional wave has helped me in not rushing to make decisions. We're often told we need to have quick decision-making skills as leaders. And while there is a time and a place for the quick decision, it's not all the decisions that we need to make. And being able to recognize for myself where I need to take time to think them through has helped me in making better decisions, not feel rushed, and to support my team that they don't have to be constantly rushed to make a decision or to have an answer right on the spot. Now, the last part that I want to share with you about human design is what's called the incarnation cross in human design. In Gene Keys, it's called the activation sequence, and my coach likes to call it the core four. So this is the top two gates or numbers that are on both sides of your chart, or your conscious and unconscious sun. So if you're looking at your Gene Keys profile, again, it's called the activation sequence, and it's the green circles. It makes up 70% of who you are meant to be in the world. It's not something that's just going to magically appear in you one day. It's a product of leaning into your natural self, being you, consistently making decisions that are right for you, being dedicated to tuning into your awareness, and then it naturally takes over your life. It's your purpose in life, not the purpose of what you do, but the purpose of your being. If this is the only part of human design that you choose to study, you will learn so much about yourself. At least that has been my experience. Now, the four gates or gene keys that make up my incarnation cross, they are all about seeing life as an opportunity to grow, to share experiences with each other, to start something new, to shift the way that people think, and to put my big ideas out there. It's about focusing on the journey, not the destination, and trusting that I have learned enough. Spending time in the quiet to find the answers, trusting my intuition, and moving forward even when there is no logic present, because that will come to me through taking action. Now, focusing on the journey is something that has always resonated with me and been a key message that I've shared for years. Long before I knew about human design, I felt pulled to create a community for leaders called A Leader's Journey, where we could learn about the journey of other leaders, share what's worked and didn't work, our challenges and our wins. Well, here we are today with the podcast called A Leader's Journey. Little did I know all those years ago that I was destined, if you will, to be focused on the journey. Two of the shadows of my core four are greed and immaturity, which at first glance did not resonate with me at all, as I've never felt either of those as I've gone through life. I've turned down lots of opportunities to make more money because I wanted to learn more where I was. My friends have always been older than me. I've really struggled when I was a child to connect with kids my own age, and I've always told that I was wise beyond my years. I trusted in human design, and as I studied and I looked deeper than what my surface level definitions of those words were of greed being money and immaturity being how I behaved, I started to realize that when I'm not at my best self, greed and immaturity absolutely show up for me. For me, it looks like it's wanting what I want, and I want it right now. I think of Veruca from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, when she said, I want my Oompa Loompa and I want it now. That's me when I'm in my shadows. Having the awareness of this has allowed me to notice when I'm stepping into those shadows and where I need to be able to exercise greater patience and hear others' perspectives. Well, I know that I don't have all of the answers, and I am the first person to admit that. If I'm in a tough place at the moment, or I'm not feeling 100% myself, I'll believe that I do. And that isn't helpful for me or to anyone that I am around. I've leaned more into believing in myself as a leader and that I have the answers and not turning to others or second guessing my decisions when someone may have a different viewpoint. I'm learning how to let things go, which can be hard as a leader, as there are a lot of emotional situations that arise and things don't always go the way that you intended. It's still a work in progress, and every day I'm getting a little bit better at it. People are also counting on me to bring hope and potential into their lives. The hard work and effort I've put into my development is a strength, and I'm being more vulnerable and open to share what I'm learning and studying. A big part of why I do personal development work is to better serve others, and I know I'm showing up as a better leader as a result of it. I'm meant to lead the way in shifting how leadership is viewed and the journey that's available. So I'm investing more time in developing leaders, whether it's leaders of people or leaders in place. I'm giving more autonomy and decision making to my team and consistently asking them for their recommendations on a resolution to build up their confidence and let them emerge as the leaders they are. Now, this is something I've always done as a leader, but in looking back, there was a bit of a shadow over it, and people would still turn to me for validation. So now I'm more focused on building their confidence that they don't need validation from me or anyone else. I shifted around my calendar to give myself more quiet time to think and to do focused work. I don't typically have meetings before lunch on Mondays, and I don't typically schedule any meetings all day on Fridays. I've also put more space. Usually I try for 30 minutes in between meetings, so I have time to decompress and be fully present in the next meeting. The quiet time also gives me a space to more closely connect to my intuition, which is one of my key strengths. It leads me to clarity and it keeps me from fearing the future, which leads to hesitancy and away from my intuition, which is where my greatest wisdom lies. Now, I could go on and on with all that I've learned about my core four, but for today, I'm going to stop there because that's a lot. Studying human design has been an incredible journey for me personally and professionally. In the 20 years of leadership, I've completed countless assessments. You are probably familiar with many of them. I've always felt like I learned something new and got value in each of them, which for where I was at the time, I took them in my leadership journey. I have no doubt that I did. Human design is a whole new higher level. I've learned more about myself in studying human design for the last year than I have in all the prior assessments combined. I was able to see where in some of those assessments, I was able to manipulate the result that I got based on what I wanted because of how the questions were asked of me. If you are curious to learn more, check the show notes for a link to run your Gene Keys profile and see how you are designed. You can also join my exclusive leadership community on Facebook, where I'll be sharing more information about human design and the Gene Keys. After you run your profile, if you are intrigued and you want to go deeper, schedule a leadership clarity session with me so we can assess where you are as a leader and how you can leverage the Gene Keys and human design to take your leadership to the next level and achieve the goals in work and life that you desire. I appreciate you tuning in this week and spending some more of your time with me. I hope you found this episode valuable and are excited to learn how you are uniquely designed. Until next time, my fellow leaders, lead with confidence and show up every day as the leader you are striving to be. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.